I'm Christine Hughes, and I am the Vice President and General Counsel of Emerson College. So our first focus really was on deciding whether or not to repatriate our kids. Emerson is a small college, but we have a significant global presence. We had 90 kids in the Netherlands, for example. We actually own a castle there with a moat. And our concern there was actually, we understood that students were probably safer at the castle with the moat, but we were really concerned that we might not be able at some point to bring them back if borders closed or flights got canceled. So the first rush was to bring back our 90 students. They obviously were deeply disappointed. Going to the castle is a hallmark of a Emerson education, and it's their one opportunity to study European art and history. So there was a lot of disappointment. We had students scattered in Switzerland, in Spain, in France, and both Emerson-owned programs. So that was really the first wave. We were one of the first schools to start teaching online. I think that was probably, say, the second or third week in March, or the second week in March, our kids were on break, spring break, and that gave us an opportunity. But when they came back, they all went online. They were still physically on campus for about a week, and then we realized what all other schools were realizing, which is that we actually need to send the kids home. So for anyone who is a parent of a college-age students, you will know how quickly it happened, what a rush it happened, how we really had to turn on a dime. But in terms of priorities, our first priority was keeping our kids safe. Oh my, it was interesting because there's not a crisis that Emerson has faced in the last 16 years that I haven't been front and center at, because the lawyers are front and center on crises. This one was a little bit different because my deputy general counsel and I were really more in a support nature than a front and center nature. This was really at the, in the first 3 weeks or so, this was really a logistical challenge. And our president convened a war room, as he usually does. And we weren't part of that war room because the real important people were our student life people who were trying to figure out what to do with the students. Our IT people who created this amazing web of connectivity. Zoom became our platform of choice. I'd never used Zoom before. I'm something of a subject matter expert now. So Meredith, my deputy, and I were really just trying to be as reactive and responsive as possible to questions that would come across. We got, for example, a lot of questions. Our counselors need to know when they're licensed in Massachusetts and they are providing mental health services to a former Massachusetts-based student who's now in New York or California. Can they do that? And so we would turn on a dime to get them those kinds of technical answers. We realized it was important to communicate among ourselves. I'm a team of 3, myself, my deputy, and our administrative assistant. And we've set up daily Zoom calls, which are mostly to keep us informed of what the other is doing, but they're also just a real mental health check-in. My assistant brings her dog, Riley. Occasionally my cats will photobomb. And Meredith, who has no pets, feels sufficiently left out that she now brings a stuffed animal to every one of our Zoom sessions.